Today we're making yet another original cocktail. Okay, bye. Just kidding. Let's do it. My name is Leandro Riva. This is The Educated Barfly. Read the title of this video, then stared forlornly off into the distance as if discovering secrets of the universe that altered my entire conception of what knowledge can be. All while muttering, those are different. They're different things. Let's get into making the cocktail. So today's drink is an original cocktail that I made for a Tales of the Cocktail event I was lucky enough to be asked to do. I partnered up with Barfly Mixology gear to do it. It was a lot of fun. And if you guys don't know, or some of you guys don't know what Tales of the Cocktail is, just stick around to the end of the cocktail making process. And I think I'm gonna go through a little bit about the inspiration behind this cocktail, what Tales of the Cocktail is. It's got kind of, you know, I don't know. It's not really a cool story, but it's just
it's a story
you should know about the industry or something. I don't know. Ready? You ready? All right, first thing we're gonna do.
Look how sharp that knife is.
So sharp. So sharp. We're gonna do 3/4 ounce of lemon juice. So we're gonna be putting some sage-infused wildflower honey syrup in this cocktail. Look at the description below. I have written out the method for how to make it. It's super easy. So that's where it is if you wanna learn how to make this. And we're just gonna do 1/2 ounce of that into the cocktail, like so. 1/4 ounce of yellow chartreuse. And then we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of Plymouth gin. Now, I formulated this cocktail specifically for Plymouth gin, but you can use London Dry or any other, pretty much any gin's gonna work in this drink. I like the Plymouth because it has a lot of citrusiness in its flavor profile, but then it also has this earthy element to it that's really nice. And it just plays well off of the sage and off of the yellow chartreuse. It's really great. So because this is a fall cocktail and I wanted to make something refreshing, and for fall, we are going to put a red delicious apple in there. We're just gonna cut the cheek off, like so. Make sure you don't get any seeds. And then we're just gonna, I'm gonna dice it up here to make it easier to muddle. Slap it into our tin, get our muddler. This is definitely a cocktail you're gonna have to double strain. Just, you know, make sure you got one. Mull it all up. All right, then we're gonna add our ice into our tin. Add in our cocktail, give it a nice shake. God, I love these tins, dude. They're so good and they're nice and weighty. They break apart. I don't ever have to struggle with them. Oh, love it. Give it the old double strain. Now you're gonna have to work to double strain this thing because it has all those apple pieces in here. Couple of notes on this cocktail. If you want to make it more boozy, you can definitely add another 1/2 ounce of gin, up it to 2 if you'd like. I like the 1.5. I think it's just a little bit nicer that way. Also, the other thing is that if you want to just use regular honey syrup and you don't want to have to put sage into the honey syrup ahead of time, you can actually just take a couple of leaves and kind of regal shake it. What you do is take a couple of leaves, 2 or 3 leaves, throw them in the tin and shake with it. You can even give them a little slight muddle, maybe put them in there when the apple is in there, when you're muddling the apple, and just give it like a nice little hit and then shake it, and then you'll still get that nice aromatic sage flavor. And then I'm just gonna take one little leaf. I'm gonna give the old slappy poo, and then we're just gonna lop it onto the cocktail like so. I don't know why I said lop it on. Do you just like, is that like lopping? We're gonna Salt Bae it onto the cocktail. Bam! Do you think I could do that?
That's like so 2019.
I'm bad at Salt Baeing. I'm Sage Bae. There you go. Yeah! Sage Bae. All right, let's give it a taste. Yeah, nice and tart. Lemon's right up front. The yellow chartreuse is bringing in a lot of herbaliness to it. You get the gin, but it's kind of playing a back seat. You still get those botanicals. The apple is so good with the chartreuse and the honey, though, I gotta say. It is very light and refreshing. It's also very fall-ish. And I created this cocktail for an event that I did in partnership with Barfly Mixology gear for Tales of the Cocktail. If you guys don't know what Tales of the Cocktail is, it is a yearly celebration in New Orleans. I said that really weird. I said New Orleans, like the was just really weird the way I said it. Anyway, in New Orleans, and it is basically like the World Cup of bartending. There's a lot of different parties and events to go to. There's tons of educational stuff, lots of stuff benefiting the industry. They also host the Spirited Awards, which is basically the Oscars for bartenders, brand ambassadors, writers and such. And it's just celebrating everything in the industry. So if you guys want to, you should check it out. It's pretty awesome. The last couple of years have obviously been remote. I'm really hoping that 2022 or 2023 is going to be in person. That would be amazing if that could happen. Did I even mention what it was called?
No.
So it's called the Sage Hen cocktail. Well, it's actually a really funny story. I had been working, when I was in Kohl's, I had been workshopping another cocktail that was a little similar in tone, and I had remembered that I had wanted to call it a Sage Hen. There was this guy that used to drink at my bar that was a sniper in Afghanistan, and he was like one of the top snipers in the world, and he had been telling me that there is this a bird called the Sage Hen, and so I had been thinking about that when I was creating this cocktail, and it also really reminded me of winters that I used to spend in Sedona, Arizona, the desert and the sage, and just like having it be fall forward, just all of those inspirations kind of came into making this cocktail. So that's where it comes from. It is a fantastic cocktail if you want something that's good for fall, but still very refreshing. So there it is, guys, the Sage Hen. And before I get out of here, I know you guys stay to hear me talk a lot, so.
Damn chicken-sized crow outside.
I know, it's really loud, isn't it?
It's because it's chicken-sized.
Chicken-sized, I know, you and your chicken-sized. Can you explain the chicken-sized crow thing to me again, though? Because you mention this like every week.
No, it was what I think it was when we did the fight milk, and then like people weren't we weren't using crow's eggs, we were using chicken eggs, and then we were talking about the size of chicken eggs and size of crows.
Gotcha. And then, but then you actually posted a picture on our Instagram of a chicken-sized crow.
Yeah, because people were like, crows are tiny, chickens are huge, but we have huge crows. So I don't know.
Maybe it's because they ground score lots of food.
I don't know.
That's what happens when you eat a lot of popcorn and you're a crow. You just grow into a chicken size. Yeah, chickens are pretty big too, actually. I actually recently saw a chicken, like an actual chicken, a live chicken in person. Mm-hmm. Those things are like...
recently just saw a chicken live?
Yeah.
Like for the first time?
No. I had seen them, but I hadn't seen them in person for a very long time. Right. And then I was at a friend's house and their neighbor has a chicken. And it was running around their yard, and then I was really struck by the size of it. So yes, I have seen chickens before, but not in a long time in person. And memory is a tricky thing. It's a fickle. It's a what do they say? Memory is a fickle bitch, or whatever. Like you definitely remember things the way you want to remember things, not the way that they are. So. Anyway, before I leave, after all of this mouthful, I just want to say thank you to our Patreon and YouTube members. You guys help us to make this channel what it is. We are grateful to you and everything that you guys do. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts, all of the support. Here is the list of them all of the amazing people that help this channel be what it is. And then if you guys like this channel, please hit like, please hit subscribe, hit the bell if you want to be notified when we drop videos. That would be very helpful to us. Subscribing and watching obviously are very important. And if you watch all the way to the end, it helps us even more. And then if you want to check out our website, theeducatedbarfly.com, we've got, what do we got there? We've got our virtual bottle program. We've got merch. We've got articles about things. And we just recently did some pretty awesome articles. And we have recipes of everything that we do on the channel as well. So check that out. And anything else? Any last kind of things you want to tell people? Anything you got anything, Marius, this week, or
no?
Are we good?
Good.
That's it. Yeah. I said this week as if it's the only video that we do, but we do 2 videos in the week. I don't know if this is first or second, but maybe it's the second, and maybe it is the end of the week. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on another time. That said, I like the Plymouth because it has a lot of citriness. I like the Plymouth because it has a lot of citriness.